Hey everybody, this is Jaffe coming at you with another tutorial. This one's on geolocation. I know it's been a while. I actually recorded this entire thing a couple days ago and on my Mac, and for some reason I could not get the geolocation service to actually work on my Mac, and if anybody knows why, I would love to hear. So anyway, I'm re-recording this on my PC. And in fact, the only reason I was doing it on the Mac was just so I could show it in the iOS simulator, but excuse me, it'll work fine in the browser anyway. So let's get started. So here I just created a basic HTML5 page, gave it a title, and gave it the viewport meta tag for it to scale based on the device. Created a style sheet which I need to link to. And then I also created a link to this script, which is where we'll be writing the script. The HTML5 and the style sheet are really going to be very simple because you don't need a lot of information in it. So let's get started here. We're going to go into the body tag. And I'm just going to create a header real quick here. And a div element. This element is going to be an ID of map canvas. Basically, we're going to create a Google map that can be put on your web device. And it gives you your location. So it finds out where you're at and puts a little drop pin on your location, or a marker actually. So we're going to start by linking to the Google Maps API. So if we go to Google Maps in the JavaScript API version 3 and go into the tutorials, right down here you'll see that it gives us the script source for the Google Maps API. So I'm actually just going to copy that, go back in here and paste it in. Now, one thing that you have to notice is that on this link, it gives you this sensor set to true or false. You actually are going to need to set that to true or false. So we're going to set it to true because we don't want it to be able to use the sensor to find out our location. But that's it. So then you'll put your script tag underneath there. And as far as the HTML goes, for the basic map, this is it. Style sheet, I'm going to add some really quick style to it, but it's not going to be anything crazy. I'm going to give the body a kind of a lightish off-white color, and I do that just because I hate looking at that harsh white screen. So we'll give it a background, and then we'll align everything to the center as far as the H1 tag goes, just to make it look prettier. And then we'll style the map canvas. And I'm going to do this just so that it's not out of control as far as a width. And you do need to give it a width and a height anyway, so we'll do that. The margin, we'll set it to 10 pixels down, auto, so left and right. And then width, we'll give it a 500 pixels and a height of 500 pixels. So that should fit nice into the screen. So as far as the CSS and HTML goes, that's it. We're set there. And if we open this up in Firefox, we're just going to get geolocation, and that's it. So moving on, let's go into the script page here. And we're going to start writing the script. It's pretty straightforward stuff, so bear with me. I may go fast, but again, you can just pause this and as you like. But let's create a couple variables here. First, we're going to do is the initial location. This variable is obviously going to be your location. The browser support flag. This is for error messages, and we're going to give this a new value of a boolean. So that it's we know that it's a true or false. And then we're going to create a marker. So these are the three variables that we're going to be using. And let's start in with the functions. The main function is here. It's going to be initialize. Actually, let's call it init location. You can call it whatever you want. That's what I'm calling it, init location. So let's do a variable inside here. This is my options. These are going to be the map options that are available. So the first one, let's just do a zoom. Let's do it a zoom of 15. And we did that in the static maps API. That's just a good size to go in there. And then we're going to give it a map type, if I could spell, ID. And that's going to be Google Maps.map type ID, and that's going to be a roadmap. So that being done, let's create another variable here. And this is all going inside the initialize location function, the init location function. Let's create a map here. So a variable of a map is going to be equal to a new instance of the Google Maps map. And we're going to grab that map canvas ID right here, because this is what we're going to be putting the map into. So we're going to do document.get element, by ID, and we're going to grab that map canvas element and my options. So we're going to put the options in there with it. So here we're going to put the actual geolocation. We're going to start with an if statement. If navigator.geolocation. Okay, so if that's true, we're going to set the browser support tag to true. So we'll do browser support flag. I said tag, sorry. I meant flag. Equals true, if I could spell true. And we're going to use the navigator.geolocation.get current position, and inside that navigator, if I could spell that right, navigator.geolocation.get current position, we're going to create another anonymous function here, and that function is going to be a position. And in that position, let's give us some more room here. In that position function, we are going to call this initial location variable, and that's going to be equal to a new Google Maps latitude and longitude, which is position dot coordinates, which just chords, dot latitude separated by a comma, and position dot coordinates dot longitude I said. And then we're going to get the map and set the center of the map to be equal to the initial location. So what we did here is if the navigator or the geolocation is supported in the browser, then we're going to start the navigator's geolocation services, get the current position, and that position is going to be this initial location variable, which is the Google Maps latitude and longitude, which is defined by position.coordinates.latitude and position.coordinates.longitude. Then we're going to grab the map and set its center. So the map here is a new instance of the Google Maps. We're going to set the center of that to be this latitude and longitude. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Moving on from there, let's create a new marker. So we've got the variable that we called here for marker. We're actually going to sets this to be a new Google Maps marker. And this marker is going to have these options in it. So position for it is going to be the initial location, which is the variable we set up here with the latitude and longitude. So not only is the map center going to be the latitude and longitude, it's also going to be where the marker is going to be located at. And let's do some animation. This was somebody requested this on my previous static API maps. So the animation here, and this animation is going to be a google.maps.animation and drop animation. The map is going to be the map, and we can title the map. It's not necessary, but we'll title the map my own location. Sure, why not? So we'll close these out here, and then we will add a new function here. So where am I at? I think I've got one too many here. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the basically the error message flag. So this is the browser support flag, the error messages that can pop up. So we're going to give this a function here, an anonymous function. So we'll create that function here. Handle no geolocation is what this is going to be, and it's going to be the browser support flag, and we'll close that out here. And let's see, let's put the browser doesn't support geolocation. I can't spell. So let's go right here and let's do else here. Else browser support flag equals false. Handle no geolocation. Now let's give it the functionality of the handle the no geolocation. So this is what the error message is going to be if it doesn't able to handle the no geolocation. So create a new function down here. There's going to be an if-else function for the handle no geolocation, and it's going to be an error flag. And here we go. So if the error flag, my goodness, is equal to true, I mean, if we do get the error for the browser location, we're going to give a little bit of an error message here. So alert geolocation service failed. This is for a general, just a general server. So if there's an error, and there's a lot of different ways that you can do errors, and in fact, in the APIs, there's all this information about error messages, and you can look that up. But this is just the general error message that we're putting in here. There's some kind of error that happened, and the service failed. Okay, now what we can do at that point then is we'll give it an else statement, and what this says is if it's an error flag, then we're getting the service failed. But if it's the browser support flag, then we're going to give it this error message, which is your browser does not support geolocation. Excuse me. So that is basically that, and let's see, moving on, where do I want to go from here? Else alert, your browser does not support geolocation. There's the end. Let's Otherwise, we're going to add the map here. Set center, initial location, and give this an end. And I think, why do I have an alert here? What's going on with my else statement? Oh, I don't want to. I don't need to end that statement like that. I need to end it up here. Getting out of control. It's getting out of control, people. Okay. So, map set center, and we just need to get the map called up. So right now we obviously still don't have anything, so let's just go ahead and we're going to give us the onload function. So once the window loads, oops, give this the function, and that function is going to be init location, just like we had up here. And let's go ahead and save it and refresh. And there is our map, and the pin had a little bit of a drop effect, and this is where we're at. In fact, this is my location. It's off a little bit due to the IP because it's trying to find, so it's not exactly where I live. I'm more over here, but if this was a mobile phone, it would drop right where you're at. So that is basically it. Just a few lines of code, and we've got the geolocation support. And that should do it. If you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to shoot me an email or leave a comment. And if you go to my website, jdesignandmotion.net, if you're on YouTube right now, I'll get the source code for you. You can download. Otherwise, have a great day. See ya.